Happy holidays, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the New York Sports Rapid Rundown. It's a show where we bring you the hottest 3 sports topics in these New York streets. And joining me today in the Rapid Rundown hot seat is a rising journalist in the Big Apple. You can see her work on the Knicks Wall, Winsider, and Law 360. The one and only Candace Pedraza. Candace, what's going on?
Not much. How are you doing?
I'm great. Glad to have you here. I've been a fan of your work for quite some time, so I'm just really happy to have you here. It's great. How is I feel like we both came here so everybody can see. You got the red blazer, yes. You got the green. We came here with the holiday colors. So, you know, how's your holiday season going for you?
Great. I have a whole week off.
That's always good.
So I plan on doing absolutely nothing sports related. I need a break, especially from Knicks Twitter, Knicks discourse. So yeah, I'm really excited to take that break off.
Yeah, that's good. Sometimes you have to take a little bit of a break away from the sports and Knicks Twitter. I can understand. Sometimes it can get toxic in the wrong way, so we don't need it. We don't need it to. But we got a lot to talk about on the Rapid Rundown. We're going to talk about the Mets and the Yankees losing out on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Aaron Rodgers ended talks of returning this season, but he may want to play longer than some people have assumed. But first, we got to talk about the New York Knickerbockers and Candace. Knicks fans, they got to feel like they can't catch a break because on Wednesday night, after a win over the Nets, there was news that came out about the health of Mitchell Robinson, and that news got worse. Shams Charania of The Athletic reported that Robinson is now expected to miss the rest of the season after undergoing ankle surgery. Just last week, the Knicks, they've already applied for a disabled player exception worth $7.8 million for salary cap purposes from the NBA. Got to ask you this. When you found this out, how big of a blow is this for the Knicks?
It's possibly the biggest blow that they could have taken, especially considering how good of a season Robinson has been having. Even now, he's been out the last several games due to that ankle surgery. He's still second in the NBA in offensive rebounds grabbed total. So that's incredible work that he was doing on the glass for the Knicks. And without that input from him on the offensive end for New York, they have to figure out a way to get scoring going without those second chance points he was generating. On top of that, obviously, he is a formidable shot blocker. He's a formidable rim protector. So without him on the floor, I think teams are going to be a lot more inclined to attack them in the paint. And that's where Isaiah Hartenstein's importance really grows in the starting lineup. Yeah,
it definitely grows there, and you're right. It's gonna hurt them on defense. You've already seen the impact of Mitchell Robinson being out, and now he's not just out. Jericho Sims also out. He just suffered a sprained ankle in Monday's win over the Lakers. So the team is down to Isaiah Hartenstein at center, veteran Taj Gibson as their 2 centers right now. So when you look at, there's been a lot of talk. I know you've seen this on Knicks Twitter, which you told me you're staying away from next week. There's been a lot of talk about the Knicks. How will they use that disabled player exception if they get it? What kind of center do you think they should look for to add to the roster?
So I think that they should really be looking to try to add an Isaiah Hartenstein type center to the second unit. He obviously thrived alongside Emmanuel Quickley and Quentin Grimes because he was always looking for the perfect pass. Kelly Olynyk is actually one player that I would be super interested in seeing the Knicks poke around about. He is an excellent passer. Right now he's averaging actually 4.4 assists per game. So he is a big that is really focused on the offensive end of things for the second unit with the Utah Jazz. I don't know if they'd be willing to let him go, to the Knicks especially, given how last year's free agency went, but he would be a name I would love for New York to poke around on.
I like that there, because as him being that type and kind of fitting as a center that can pass, also can help you stretch the floor a little bit. I think a lot of things I've seen on Knicks Twitter is people talking about the shot blocking centers or the centers that rebound really well, like an Andre Drummond. Yeah. So, but, you know, I think wherever they go, they're going to need some depth because I'm not sure you can live with Taj Gibson if you have to playing major minutes. That's not what you want. Shout out to Taj, but 38 years old, and he's just getting back into his conditioning. I'm not sure if that's what the Knicks want in that terms. Real quick follow-up on that. Are you concerned about Mitchell Robinson being out and how that will impact the Knicks? Is that like a major concern for you?
I think that as the Knicks get into the postseason, it'll be more of a concern. I think it's kind of a guarantee that the Knicks are going to make it in the playoffs. Like, they are just simply one of the elite teams in the East, despite what Knicks Twitter might tell you, or just despite what the media might tell you in general about them. But Mitchell Robinson was such a huge part of what made them successful in that Cleveland Cavaliers series. And without him there potentially in that portion of the season, I would be really concerned about their ability to make it far in the postseason.
Yeah, there's no doubt Mitchell Robinson has had a huge impact on the Knicks, and him not being around and likely for the rest of the season. It's already being felt. Okay, we're going to talk some New York baseball with Candace. We were supposed to talk in a different way about this topic, then everything changed. Yoshinobu Yamamoto signed with the Dodgers on Thursday night, left the Mets and the Yankees on the outside looking in. So, Ace, let's start with the Yankees, who gave up most of their young big league starters in the Juan Soto deal. How should the Yanks spend the money that they were going to use, if they could have got Yamamoto to pay him? How should they then use that money to try to bolster their rotation going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's still a pretty good amount of free agent pitchers on the market. They have Blake Snell available to them that they could try to pitch to. No pun intended. They have the ability to possibly get back with Jordan Montgomery, although I think that he's said that he's not interested in coming back to New York, but money talks, so we shall see. There's a lot of good options for them out there. Ironically, I think that they're going to be in a bidding battle with the Mets, their crosstown rival, because the Mets kind of have a similar issue as the Yankees where they're missing that really solid rotation. The Yankees have Garrett Cole, obviously, and he's their ace. He's able to really stabilize them when he is on the mound. But with the Mets, I think that they're really looking for a couple of pitchers to really enter that rotation and make a difference.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who the Yankees target and what they do. You mentioned the Mets here because they reportedly offered Yamamoto the bag. They offered him the same amount as the Dodgers did, reportedly, but he chose Los Angeles. The Mets, they've only signed one starter this offseason. That'll be Luis Severino. How aggressive should they be in terms of improving the starting rotation this offseason? Because you basically said, look, they need a couple of pitchers as well, too.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, if the fact that Yamamoto never took the bag from them or the Yankees, which is breaking my heart that he wasn't able to pitch in New York, they're going to be able to at least send a bag to a pitcher or a couple of pitchers that they think will be able to round them out. Severino, I think, needs the change of scenery. I love him during those like baby bomber days with the Yankees, but he just never was the same after those injuries. I think he's going to do great in Queens, but I think that the Mets are in a really good spot. They're able to spend the money that they didn't spend on Yamamoto and able to possibly bring in a couple of pitchers that are going to make a difference for them. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what those pitchers, kind of like the Yankees, what those pitchers are. Maybe they're not as high profile. You know everybody's disappointed because they didn't get this high profile guy. We're just talking with my director, Joe, before this, and he said, yeah, it's whatever. I'm moving on. It didn't happen. And I think from what I'm just talking to a little bit of the fan bases, I think that's how everybody feels. It's like, okay, this didn't happen. He went here. We're moving on. That's all you can do sometimes.
Pretty much.
Sometimes you just got to move on. We're going to move on to the Jets. Talk of Aaron Rodgers returning this season was put to rest this week as the Jets QB said he won't play in 2023. I don't know about you, Ace. Are you glad that this talk is over, or did you want to see Rodgers get back on the field this season?
I'm so happy it's over.
Me too. It's like, we can put this to rest.
There's no way that he was going to be able to come back that quickly. I'm not doubting that, his Achilles is healed a significant amount. There's been videos dropped, I think, every week of him doing some sort of workout where it's like, look at what he's doing. And I'm like, there's no way he's going to survive behind that O-line, though. And so it's, I guess, a comfort to know that the Jets and Aaron Rodgers have pulled the plug on that idea. Moving ahead to next season, I just hope that they're able to retain almost the same team ahead of 2024 because they would have been, I think, one of the best teams in the NFL had Rodgers been able to take over.
There was so much hope. I feel like that's a word. Whenever we talk about the Jets on the show, it's been so much about hope. We've been talking about it over and over. I was just happy that the Jets saved Rodgers from himself here because the worst thing that could have happened was he came back out, got hurt again, like you said, behind the offensive line, which has been a mess this season. That's not what anybody wanted to see. But he did say on the Pat McAfee show, Candace, that he is interested in playing beyond 2024. But I think this is a fair question. Should Aaron Rodgers, as the quarterback of the Jets, should he be a part of the Jets' plan for 2024 and beyond? Or should we start thinking about, not we, but should the Jets start thinking about other options, maybe finding a solid backup for him next year, which was part of the problems that plagued him this year? Is it time for the Jets to start thinking about life beyond Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. Yes.
And a short answer, yes.
Absolutely. Like you said, this season, I think, proved that point. They had to rely on Zach Wilson to be an Aaron Rodgers for this team, and we knew that he wasn't, and that's why they went out and got Aaron Rodgers. He's getting up there in age. Obviously, we see athletes doing things in later parts of their athletic life that seem impossible, like with LeBron James in the NBA. Tom Brady played for quite a long time. So I'm not doubting that Aaron Rodgers can come back and be as impactful, even as he's getting up there and even after dealing with such a significant injury. But the Jets need to really get some insurance, and some real insurance. There are some solid quarterbacks in this draft they should maybe try to go after. But in the future, maybe not this coming season, but in the, third season of his contract, they should maybe look to get some insurance for him.
Yeah, it feels like it's time. But you mentioned a great point that we see older athletes do some really good things. But father time comes for everybody. We've seen this happen before. And at some point, you got to start thinking about the future. You just have to. Okay, we've got a bonus question for this episode. I want to do this because it's holiday season, right? And it's a time where we give out gifts. So, Ace, I want you to do this for me. Can you give a gift to the sports fans of New York? What is the gift that New York sports fans absolutely need in 2024? You got one gift to give the New York sports fans. What are you giving them?
I'm giving New York sports fans the gift of finally having a team that rides through the Canyon of Heroes. The NWSL championship just happened a couple of months ago. Gotham FC won that championship. So they broke New York City's championship drought. That should have been front page news. It should have been a much bigger deal than it actually was. And even fans had to pressure the team to give them the celebration that they deserved. They didn't get to ride through the Canyon of Heroes. So in 2024, I would love to see a team win a championship for New York City again and be able to ride through.
I think that would be great. I think all New York sports fans want it. Who do you think the team that is most likely to deliver on that gift? Which team is that close that you can say, you know what? All right, this team is going to do that. They're going to get their time to shine down the Canyon of Heroes.
I'm going to have to go with the team that was in the finals, so the New York Liberty. I think they have the best shot. I would say second place would probably be the Rangers. I think they're doing pretty well right this season.
They are?
But the Liberty are right there. The Aces are always going to be in their way, as they'll be in everyone's way in a good way. But I think the Liberty have the best shot at it.
I'm with you on that. I think the Liberty absolutely do. You know what? It would be nice if we see the Liberty going down the Canyon of Heroes in 2024. I feel like that would be a pretty good gift. Gotham, they ended the drought. They should have got more love. I'm with you on that. Definitely should have got more love on that. But hopefully the Liberty do it and they get some love on that too. Show some love, everybody, to Candace Pedraza. She does a fantastic job. Knicks Wall, Law 360, Winsider, fantastic writer. Love your work, Candace. Glad you were able to stop on the New York Sports Rapid Rundown. We're going to have you back up here again soon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Again, check out Candace's work. And everybody, have a fantastic holiday, fantastic Christmas. We'll be back next week with the New York Sports Rapid Rundown.